So before you kind of try to determine whether or not someone's lying or not, you need to understand the theoretical perspectives that kind of underline lie detection. And the first one is emotion. So essentially what we do is we experience three kinds of emotions when we lie. And the first one is fear, right? So fear of being caught. The second one is guilt for lying. And the third is delight for getting away with it successfully. So those are the three emotions. Now these are the problems. There's only nonverbal behaviors that are correlated with these emotions. Just because you see those behaviors, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know the person's lying or not. So for example, a guy can get home late from work, and his wife, he walks into the front door, and his wife's like, honey, where were you? And he starts to stutter, and he's like, and he gives all these weird nonverbals, something's off. He's like, I'm so sorry, I was late at work. And his wife knows, all right, something's up. I think he's lying. She doesn't know why. She doesn't know the source of the lie. So she may jump to the conclusion that he's cheating on me or something like that. You don't know that. All you know is there's something wrong, there's something up. So we can spot emotions, but we don't know the reason why the person's having that emotion. And that's the problem is, we can see that somebody's fearful, or we can see somebody seems guilty in this conversation, right? But it doesn't mean they're lying. They can be guilty because of a wide range of reasons. So you can't just look at a nonverbal and be like, liar. You have to look at a nonverbal, look at the emotion, and then kind of deduce whether or not the person is lying or not. The second thing is what's called cognitive overload. Now, cognitive overload is very interesting. It basically means that when we lie, right, we require more cognitive facilities than when we tell the truth. So basically, lying is more demanding than telling the truth. And because lying is more demanding, we tend to reduce the amount of behaviors we make. So one of the things we'll tend to see is in really animated and people who move their hands a lot. When they lie, they're less likely to move their hands. So I do a cool little study at my office where I get people to arrange a deck of cards, put all the fours, you can try this. Put all the fours together, put all the fives together, put all the six together. Try doing that while telling a real story. And then try doing that while making up a story. When you make up a story and do that, you have a hard time doing it because all of your cognitive processes are going towards the lie. So it's a very useful way to see when people reduce movement, because it's basically because they're lying, because they're putting so much more effort into lying, they can't pay attention to other things.